The night was colder than usual, and the sound of rain against the window made Amelia's heart ache even more. She sat by the window, staring at the streetlights that shimmered through the raindrops, her wedding ring glinting faintly on her trembling hand. Just 2 years ago, she had believed in fairy tales. She had believed that love was something pure, sacred, unbreakable. When Ethan had looked into her eyes on their wedding day and promised forever, she had trusted him with every fiber of her being. But forever, she would later learn, was a word too easily spoken and too rarely kept. Ethan had been everything she ever wanted: charming, kind, protective. He made her feel seen, safe, loved. Her friends had envied their relationship, calling them the perfect couple, and among those friends was Clara, her closest companion since college, a woman she thought of as her sister. Clara had been her maid of honor, her confidant, the first to know every joy and sorrow in Amelia's life. But something began to change after the wedding. Ethan started coming home late, always with an excuse: long meetings, traffic, work dinners. His laughter, once warm, now felt distant, almost rehearsed. He stopped holding her hand during movies, stopped calling her his sunshine. She tried to convince herself it was just stress, that marriage sometimes lost its spark. But deep down, her heart whispered a truth she wasn't ready to face. Then came the night that broke her world apart. It was Ethan's birthday. Amelia had spent the entire day cooking his favorite meal, baking a cake and setting up candles around the house. She wore the red dress he once said made her look like a dream. But hours passed, and Ethan never came home. When she called, his phone was off. Worry turned to fear, and fear turned to dread. Finally, around midnight, she got a message from an unknown number. It was a photo. Ethan, at a restaurant, holding hands with Clara. The floor beneath her seemed to vanish. Her breath caught in her throat as she dropped the phone. The man she loved and the friend she trusted most had both betrayed her in the cruelest way. She cried until her voice broke, the pain clawing through her chest. But when morning came, she didn't scream, didn't confront them. She simply wiped her tears and decided to disappear quietly, like she never existed. For weeks, she avoided everyone, ignoring messages and calls. She couldn't bear the pity or the gossip. Her heart felt like an open wound that would never heal. Then one day, while cleaning out old drawers, she found Ethan's second phone, the one he thought she didn't know about. Curiosity and anger mixed in her veins as she unlocked it using his old password. What she discovered inside shattered whatever little piece she had left. Dozens of messages, photos, and videos. Ethan and Clara, laughing, planning trips, mocking her behind her back. And worse, financial transfers. Ethan had been secretly moving money from their joint account into Clara's. They had planned to leave together and start a new life once Amelia was out of the way. Her hands shook as she read through the texts. "She's too naive to notice," Clara had written. "Soon, it'll all be ours." For the first time, Amelia didn't cry. Something inside her shifted, a quiet, powerful determination. She took screenshots, saved every message, and stored everything on a hard drive. She wasn't going to beg for love or mercy anymore. She was going to fight for justice. Weeks later, Ethan returned home acting normal, pretending nothing had happened. But Amelia was calm. She greeted him with a smile, served him dinner, and listened to his lies. That night, as he slept beside her, she looked at his face and whispered softly, "Tomorrow, you'll know what it feels like to lose everything." The next morning, she went to the police with all the evidence, the messages, the transfers, and proof that Ethan had been committing financial fraud through her name. The investigation began quietly. Ethan was arrested 2 weeks later, shocked and furious. Clara tried to deny everything, but the proof was undeniable. Both of them faced charges, and Amelia walked out of the courtroom with her head held high. Months passed, and life slowly began to heal. She started volunteering at a women's shelter, helping others who had suffered similar betrayals. Her smile returned, not the innocent one she once had, but a stronger, wiser one, forged in pain and survival. One evening, she walked by the same window where she had once sat crying, and for the first time, the rain didn't make her feel alone. It made her feel cleansed, reborn. She had learned that sometimes justice isn't about revenge, it's about finding peace in your own strength. Years later, she saw Clara again, outside a small cafe, looking tired, worn, and alone. Their eyes met for a brief second. Amelia didn't speak, didn't glare. She simply smiled, calm, distant, free. Clara looked down, ashamed. That was justice enough. Amelia walked away into the sunlight, the wind in her hair, her heart finally light. The scars remained, but they no longer defined her. She had been betrayed, broken, and humiliated. But she had risen, and in her quiet victory, she realized something beautiful. Sometimes the greatest revenge is living a life so peaceful that your enemies can't disturb it. If you liked this story, don't forget to like the video, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to the channel for more emotional and true stories every week. Your support means a lot. It helps me bring more inspiring stories to you.